Hey everyone, can you tell what's on my eyes? Definitely two color stories. If you couldn't tell, this is the new Hermes eyeshadow quads. Again, two different color stories, and we'll get into how I did the looks, all the details about the product, and some comparisons to a couple other things. Hey everyone, today we are looking at Hermes, the famous orange box. Maybe one day I will actually buy a purse from them. But today we're not looking at purses. Today we're looking at eyeshadows. Now, I did not pick up any of the mascaras. I will probably pick up a mascara at some point, but I have a bunch of opened mascaras right now, and I just couldn't spend that much money and open another mascara. So if everybody says it's fantastic or everyone says it's terrible, probably, go with that. Believe them. If it's hit or miss and you really want me to try it out and, it's kind of all over the place about people's thoughts, I will definitely try it out for you. Just let me know. So the eyeshadows. Now, if you haven't seen them, they have the typical, or if you haven't seen Hermes makeup packaging, it's this round, Pierre Hardy, white, shiny summer matte with the gold Hermes emblem at the bottom that feels like kind of like a fingerprint. You just sort of put your finger right there. And then it just opens like this. That's what the blushes look like. Here's a blush. The thing I would tell you is if you have a blush and an eyeshadow in your drawer, you can't tell the difference, or at least I can't tell the difference. Maybe it's just because I'm old, but I can't tell the difference between the eyeshadow and the blush until you look at the back of the packaging. Just putting that out there. These are also refillable, just like the blushes. There's a little pinhole on the back, and the entire thing comes out. So it's not like you can replace the single shades. The whole piece comes out. Now, I picked up two of them. I picked up the Ombre Fume, which is grays. And then I picked up the Ombre Vegetals. And again, I will talk about the collection, and why I picked up these two is that I love greens. So one is a green, and I love grays. Those are like two of my favorite shades. In fact, my entire house is basically gray. And I did that long before the gray that became a popular shade to paint your house in. I've always loved gray. So here are the shades. Here are them swatched. Obviously, here's the Vegetals and here is the Fume. I am going to compare this green to the green in the Prada because this collection of eyeshadows reminds me most of the Prada. That's what I got just looking at them. Three shades that are kind of a transition, a deepening, and a shiny shade, a shimmery shade, and then a pop of color. That's what I get from this. So for this one, obviously, this is the transition, this is the deepening, this is the shimmer, here's the pop of color. If that's the way you like to do your makeup, if you want to make it like step by step, that's how you do this. So again, transition, deepening. I would say this is more the pop because this is more the special shade, the pop of color, even though it's not color. And then this one here is the shimmer. I would also say you could do it the other way. This could be transition, this could be deepening, and this could be your pop of color. Either way, that's the idea behind this collection. So let's talk about it. There are 6 color palettes. It says offering various avenues of expression for the eyes, creating a natural, intense, or sophisticated look. Each quartet is composed of a graduated trio of powers, complemented by a 4th, bold, and unexpected shade. All can be used individually or combined to create a subtle, seamless blend of shadows. So again, if you want to do, one and done shades like any other eyeshadow palette, you can do that. The green one, the Ombre Vegetals, influenced by a green foliage adorned with an iridescent shimmer, evoking an illuminated garden abundant with nature. That's how they're describing it, not how I'm describing it. The Fume is stormy shades tinged with a cool light, a dark presence with celestial accents. Interesting. Made in Italy. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else. 98% natural ingredients, silky emollients and oils. soft and light texture, finger or brush. Okay, it says the various finishes draw inspiration from the silk métier. The matte finish evokes the essence of a silk chiffon. The satin finish mirrors the allure of silk twill, and the shimmering finish is reminiscent of silk lame. If you know anything about Hermes, they're very well known for their silk scarves and their silk twill and all of that. So it kind of makes sense that they would, like Prada, you know, harken back to their designs. Okay, so I'm gonna take the green from Prada and I'll show you the palette in just a second. The green from Prada and the green from Hermes, they are the same to me. I do not see a difference. Maybe the green from Hermes is a little more pigmented. I mean, from Prada, sorry. It's about the only difference I can see between those two shades. It's basically the same green. So if you love the green from the Prada, you're gonna like this one. Let me show you a couple other things and then we'll just get right to the eye looks. Comes in the orange box, as you saw, slides out, has the little bag, the little burlap bag that they go in, closes up just like any other Hermes product. It also comes with a little teeny brush, which is actually a cute idea because it actually feels like a soft brush and a decent brush. I am not going to do my entire look with this brush, but what I would say is this is something that I actually would put in my purse if I was like, I need a touch up. Like that, the brush is actually okay. Like the Hermes brushes that I have tried in the past were not great, to be honest with you, but I've only tried a very limited amount of them, so I can't speak to that. I didn't buy the brushes that were introduced, and I did not buy the mascara, like I said. So that's where we are. And again, if you're really interested in the mascara, let me know and I'll pick it up. All right, so let's just dive in and try. Let's just try the products. I'll do the green here and the gray here. I'll use the same brushes for both sides so there's no like unfairness on either one. I'll use Sonia G brushes you just make sure these are clean. Recently Refer came out with a brush that I talked about. I did buy, so I'll have a review up of that. Sonia G is going to be coming out with brushes. Brushes are key, and like I said this the other day when I did the Rose Tease look with Tom Ford, or whenever that was, to be honest with you, you can take a decent palette and make a look fantastic, or you can take a really good palette and make it look terrible if you're using really bad brushes. This is just my opinion, but I think brushes do, again, my opinion, I think brushes make a huge difference. I think it's essential, but again, just me. Okay, so we're gonna do a traditional look. We're gonna do a transition pop of color kind of thing. So we're gonna take this shade, I'm gonna use that as transition. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about with transition, just basically it's a shade to tie other shades together. I haven't ever done, I think, a basic makeup routine for folks, like a tutorial, because nobody ever watches them anymore. But so, you know, placement and all that stuff depends on your eye. It depends on what you like. Makeup application, in my opinion, is an art, but it also should be fun. Don't take yourself too seriously. No really right way or wrong way to do things. It's just more of a matter of what you want to achieve. So this shade, I'd say it's like an olivey green. It's really nice. I'm not getting any fallout. Yeah, that's very pretty. I'm gonna kind of push it up a little into the brow. There's not necessarily a brow shade. I could use a shimmery shade, but I tend not to use shimmery shades on my brows. This is not my thing. But anyway, so yeah, beautiful. And if I do like the formula, I'm probably gonna buy all of them, but they are permanent, so I'm gonna wait for them to go on sale or get a coupon or something. Okay, I'm gonna get the same, this is the same place over here. I feel that way about Prada too. I love the Prada eyeshadows, and I only have 2 right now because they're permanent and there's a lot to buy. So no reason for me to rush and get them right now. I will get them when there's a sale or a coupon, or maybe in the spring when I don't buy as much makeup, frankly. I tend to go on low buys, not no buys, obviously, for the channel, because I know there's things you want me to buy, but I go on low buys at the beginning of the year because I spend so much money at the end of the year for holiday collections and fall collections that I have to balance it out somehow. So maybe I'll pick up some of these on sale. The sales come. The sales are starting. I don't know when exactly this will go up, but the Sephora sale is right around the corner. I will do a video of like what new things I think are worth it at Sephora. The Sephora sale, in my opinion, used to be a lot better of a deal. Now I don't think it is as much. So I have tons of Sephora videos. I've never taken down a video, so they're all still up there. So I'll reference everybody to those, and then I'll put up something like best new things at Sephora or something like that, which you can find at other places usually for a better deal, but I won't go there. Okay, so we've used, a transition shade. Now, if you're doing like a quote traditional look, basically what you would do is you would use a shade like this to deepen up the shade, deepen up the crease or the outer corner, and then you'd use this on the eyelid. That's kind of the idea. So I'm gonna do something similar to that, or you can also use this as liner, by the way. So I'm gonna do something similar to that, but what I'm gonna do is instead, I'm gonna take this green and use this on the outer corner here, and I'm gonna kind of use it into the crease a little bit. And then I'm gonna use the deeper shade as liner and then deepen up the outer corner over the lighter green. So I'll show you exactly how I'm gonna do it. No secrets. So I'm gonna take the bright green and I'm literally just placing it on the eye. Now, if I don't use primer when I try out new shadows, so I don't have a primer on my eye, but I would say, if you're doing a look like this and you want the eyelid to be free of any other shades, make sure you use a primer, or take a shade that's similar to your skin tone, whatever that is, and put it on the eyelid, because otherwise you're gonna have your skin tone sort of show up, if you will. Not that that is a bad thing, I just, if you want to get the true color of the shadow, a primer does help that. So I'm just going in very lightly to pull this in. And then I'm taking everything off the brush, just have a microfiber towel, and just lightly, it is, again, the quality of the brushes, but keep your hand light if you're not sure if you like a shade yet, and you're trying to kind of, gauge whether you want it to be deeper, because you can always build it up. But once you put it down, especially if it's a good powder or a good eyeshadow, it'll stick, and it's a heck of a lot harder to get off. All right, so now we're gonna take the very deep shade, and I'm gonna use a very, very pointed brush. This is actually a rougher brush. This is a 03 brush. I bought some rougher brushes, like I said. And I'm gonna take just the point, again, just patting it on the eye. Patting on the eye is a really great way to be very specific with your shadow, and also to avoid losing a pigment, making sure that you put it exactly where you want, all that good stuff. I'm putting it across the upper lash line. I'm gonna put the sparkle shade on top of it. It's gonna look a little weird at first because it's gonna look a little thick. Try to get it as close to your lashes as possible to blend it in. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. We are gonna take pop of color, which is this one, and put that where the bright green is on this side, and just popping it in there. And I try really hard not to pull on my lids. You'll see me do this often though, because I am not young. And you want to make sure that you're placing the shade correctly, and if you have wrinkles and stuff, sometimes it's a little harder. So I do pull a little bit, but I try not to pull too much, and try not to go too rough on your skin on your eyelids, because your eyelids they're very sensitive. They're very sensitive skin, and the more you rub it, the looser the skin gets over time, unfortunately. So again, I'm just pulling that in, a deeper brown shade, lightly pulling it out. Now we're going to take that little pointed rougher brush. We're going to go into the deepest shade. You guys might know, if you've watched me before, that I am not a fan, I'm not a super fan of the Hermes Beauty. I like the Hermes Beauty, but it's not my favorite. I like the cases to their lipsticks, but the only lipstick formula that I love is the shiny lipstick formula. But I will say that formula I do love. I really do. Like I think it's awesome. But the other formula, I'm just like, eh. It's not bad. It's just, it's not something I reach for. I find myself like not reaching for it. Just, you know, it's one of those things. I have a lot of lipstick, guys. So the blushes, I don't like the blushes except for the ones that have shimmer to it, which I do like very, very much. I do have Hermes blush on today. And the Hermes highlighters and powders I think are okay, but they're not, again, not my favorite. So it'll be interesting to see my final thoughts on these because, again, Hermes has not been top of the list yet, anyway. All right, so now let's use the shimmer shade on both sides. Let's do, and again, I have other shades down on top, you know, on my eye already. So the shade will, if it's made well, it will change color a little bit depending on, yep, what it's placed on top of. And this does. You can see on the outer corner, it gets more green. You have almost like a mermaid greenish shade. All right, Hermes, maybe, I like other Hermes, like I love Hermes. I mean, who doesn't love Hermes? Well, I shouldn't say that. Many people don't, but I love Hermes. It's just, they're so expensive. And again, when we get to the end of the video, we'll talk about the price of these and my thoughts, but you know, they're very expensive. Their bronzers are expensive. Their bronzers definitely did not work for me. I mean, there's like one that works, but they were not a favorite, the bronzers. But like I said, there's some products that they have that I do like very much. All right, now I'm gonna take the little Refer brush again, little small one. I'm gonna go back in to the deepest shade and just line the outer corner, like outer third of the lower lash line in here with the deepest shade. And then I'm gonna take the shimmer shade, both sides, go over. Don't use a shimmer shade on your lower lash line if you have like a lot of wrinkles around your eyes and you don't draw attention to them, because the shimmer shade, even if it's a good shimmer shade, it will kind of fall into, I mean, it's powder. So, you know. All right, let's see if I have any fallout. Very little fallout, guys, very little. 2 looks, 2 different quads. Vegetable, I'm gonna call it the vegetables, the vegetals, and the fumet. Let me put on some mascara. This is not the Hermes mascara. And then we'll do final thoughts. We're back with mascara on and absolutely beautiful. I love both the color stories. If they all perform like this, I will buy all 6. I have 2, so I will buy 4 more. I will wait until they're on sale because they are, at least according to the Hermes site, $108 each, which is a tremendous amount of money for 4 shades. 4 shades, 3 grams, 0.10 ounces. It's not a lot of product. On the back of the box, it does have neutral base, dark color liner, light accent, and surprise color. So it does actually do basically what I did and say, that's how you can use the shades. Don't get me wrong, you can use the shades, and I've said this a million times, use the shades any way that you want. But this is the neutral base right here. And then, let me make sure I'm looking at it. Yeah, that's what it says. This is the neutral base right here. Cover this up. Neutral base, dark liner, light accent, surprise color, which is exactly how I used it. But it does actually have it on the box. So, you know, if you're somebody who likes that, it's right there. The thing is though, these are $108. $108, at least on the Hermes site right now, it's $108 for 4 shades. 3 grams, 0.10 ounces total. That is expensive for 4 shades. I mean, I was saying the other day that it was expensive for the Tom Ford shades, 4 shades, and it was $90. So this is $108. Hermes, that's really what this comes down to, guys. Yes, there's probably better ingredients. Yes, they're all 98% are natural. I'm sure they use good ingredients. These would not look as beautiful as they do. They would not perform as well as they're performing unless there was good, at least decent ingredients in here. However, still $108. It's just that simple. It's $108 for 4 shades. I really love the way that these look, and I love the way they performed. So yes, I will buy the other 4. I love the color stories. I love the pop of color, but I also love the Pradas, and I intend on getting the rest of the Pradas too, and they are quite a bit cheaper, and also refillable. They're both refillable. So, you know, there's a similarity here, and I showed you the green in the Prada versus the green here. You know, this is a very different color story using that green, but my point is the idea of having a satin, a shimmer, a liner, and a surprise color, Prada did that. So I'm not saying that Hermes copied them. I'm not saying that at all. Oftentimes people have the same idea. It's not that, you know, it's not a revolutionary idea. It's something that's happened before, but it is interesting about the timing. So I think they probably were developing them at the same time. They also have the little brushes, which I do like. That's a nice touch. And so yeah, my overall impression is these are excellent. If $108 is in your budget and you're interested in picking these up, I can strongly recommend them. They look beautiful. These are the 2 color stories that I chose. They perform better on the eye, much better than they swatch. Just my take. Obviously, I will have more updates with like longevity and how they wear and what they wear like. And I will be picking up more shades, just probably not right away, just because, you know, holidays around the corner, it gets very expensive. So maybe I will. If there's a good sale or something, you know, maybe I will. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, whether you pick these up, what you think of, you know, the performance, what you think of the product in general. And if you're interested in me picking up the mascara, let me know. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. Hope to see you in another video really soon. Bye.